Good morning. Today we are going to be working on 2a, which is on inequalities in one variable in interval notation. I'm going to be doing a few homework problems so you can see what I want you to be doing. And I'll go over a few of the concepts a little bit as well. So the first part of the homework, it is going to be saying solve, graph, and then answer to be written in interval notation. So you might get a problem that looks like this right here, and I got an inequality right there. If it's a less than or equal to, greater than or equal to, less than or greater than, it's an inequality, okay? So we're gonna work it just like we would a regular problem. So first thing I'm going to do here is find my LCD and multiply through by the LCD to get rid of my fractions. So LCD in this case is going to be 15. So I'm going to multiply both sides of the inequality by 15, and when I distribute that, it's going to get next to everything, okay, like that. If you want, put it over that one so you can help get things lined up. Okay, let's take a look at this here. 5 goes in here once, goes in here 3 times. 3 times the negative 1y is going to give me a negative 3y. Minus 3 goes in here once, goes in here 5 times. So that's going to be a minus 5, less than or equal to. 3 goes in here once, goes in here 5 times, and 10. Okay, so object is to get this by itself. Going to move that over, add 5 to both sides, get a negative 3y, opposite so they're gone, less than or equal to 15. Still trying to get that y by itself, so I'm going to divide both sides by negative 3, and remember when you divide or multiply by a negative, it flips that sign. So those guys cancel out. Y will now be greater than or equal to negative 5. Okay, so we solved it. Now I want to graph it. Here we go. I always put on like a 0 and then whatever the number is, like that. Now, in our inequalities, if it's less than or greater than, we can use a parenthesis or an open dot. Just depends on what book you're using or what you're doing. I prefer to use the parentheses because we are going to be doing interval notation. So that's what I'm going to use. If we have less than or equal to, greater than or equal to, you can use the bracket or the closed dot. Again, doesn't matter what you use, but I'm going to use these guys right here because we are going to be working with interval notation. Okay, so here's my number line right here. If you have solved it and you have your variable on this side, this will always point in the way that you want it to go. Okay, since it is this sign right here, that means I'm going to be using the bracket. So right there, it's going to be pointing this way because y is greater than or equal to negative 5, and I'll go like that. Now, interval notation. We always write the smallest number first, or smallest possible answer first, which is negative 5. And my largest possible answer, well, this is going off to infinity, so infinity is going to be right there. Because I am using that particular notation here, that's the one I am going to be using here. So if you have that, you have it here, you have it here. And the parentheses always go with your infinities. So that would be your answer. Okay, so you solved it, you graphed it, and you wrote your answer in interval notation. Let's try another one. Okay, I'm doing fractions here on purpose because you guys tend not to like them very much. So a little extra practice here. So I look at all of my denominators, and my LCD is going to be 6. I'm going to write that down next to each and every one of these. Okay, looking at this one here, 3 goes in there once, goes in here twice, that's going to give me a 2x. Minus 2 goes in here once, goes in here 3 times, it's going to give me a 3. is greater than. Those guys cancel out, give me 5x. Over here, 2 goes in there once, goes in here 3 times. That is going to be a 3. Okay, so I want to get all my x's on one side, all my constants on the other side. Minus 5x. And I do like my x's over here because remember, this is going to point the way it goes when it's solved if your variable is on this side. If it's on this side, then you're going to have to flip it around. Okay, add 3, add 3. So that is going to give me a negative 3x opposites greater than opposites 6. All right, divide through by negative 3. Get x, we divided by a negative, so I need to flip that around, and this will be negative 2. All right, so now we need to graph it. So here's my 0, here's negative 2 right there. Okay, since we have this sign, remember if we have that sign, we have the parentheses. So we've got a parentheses going there. It's pointing the way it's going to go. So it's going to go like this. Negative infinity is way down there. Okay, so negative infinity is my smallest possible answer. Smallest possible answer always goes first. Then my largest possible answer goes here. Okay, so with infinities, we always have the parentheses goes with the infinities, and because we use that symbol goes right there. And there you go. So that's your answer in interval notation. Okay, let's take a look at these next set of problems. I'm going to give you a graph like this. I'm going to say write your answer in interval notation. Okay, so smallest possible answer is a 4. Largest possible answer, well, it's going off towards infinity. Since I used that, it's going to go here. Parentheses always goes with the infinity. Okay, so this one here, I have 2 parts to it, down here and here. So just take it as 2 separate problems. This one here, smallest possible answer, negative infinity, to the largest possible answer, which is negative 5. So parentheses always go with the infinities. This one has a bracket. Then you would say a union. Now that's not necessary, but you could say that. And then over here, smallest possible answer is a 4. Largest possible answer is infinity with the parentheses. So there you go. This next one here, it's just found in between there. So smallest possible answer is a 0. Largest possible answer is a 4. This one has a parenthesis, and this one has a bracket. And that's it. That's all I'm looking for, you guys. All right. Enjoy. Bye.